All right. Hello, foster families. My name is Emily Easton, and I'm here with Taylor, and we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the resources that are available for foster parents and just let you know kind of what's out there. We know that if you have better resources, then we have happier kids and happier families. So today I have Taylor with me, and why don't you just introduce yourself and talk about what your job is?
All right, I'm Taylor Harden. I work for AMP, which stands for Achieving Maximum Potential. AMP works with youth. It is a advocacy program, kind of a mentoring program, a little bit of everything put together. It's supposed to have a little bit of purpose, primarily for youth, but also for parents. There's a lot of information, like you said, in AMP, and so when you have those resources, you need at hand, or maybe you have someone else that has the resources, it makes things better, more smooth. So we're a source of resources for the youth as well as the parents. We're basically an advocacy group. We are youth-led. That's our whole goal. Our whole mission is to be youth-led, youth voice. Our motto is nothing about us without us, implying nothing about the youth without the youth. They choose our colors, they chose our motto, they chose our logo, they chose everything about us, which is kind of cool. I started with AMP I full-time as a coordinator started in AMP this April. My beginning into AMP was August of 2018. I started as an intern, and I never left, so here I am.
Here you are. Yeah. I know, sometimes these programs just suck us in and we just can't leave, right?
Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, I stayed and I volunteered, and then the position came open and they offered it.
I know, they just really get into our hearts and we just can't get away from them. I hear you. Yes. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how AMP got started?
Yeah, so AMP started, actually this year is our 15-year anniversary as of August. It started with a few foster parents in 2005. At this point, it was at another agency, and it was kind of parents came together and decided we need some, I think it would be great for some extra support. So they had 3 groups, one for teens, one for the younger youth, and one for the parents. And they kind of said it wasn't like a super formal thing. It was just very casual. They all came together. They all kind of had, have a little picnic, have a little support group for all of each other to lean on, hang out with, have a little family bond. They, in doing that, noticed that there was a lot of struggles with the teens and there's a lot of avenues to improve. So they then applied for a grant for $6,000, which they were given. And that was the beginning of Elevate. At that point, it was called Elevate. In 2010, our bid came up, and YSS has had that bid since 2010, so we came to YSS in 2011, and we've been a program of YSS since then, and it just continues to grow from that.
Yeah, awesome. So for all of our foster parents out there, what kind of resources and supports do you offer both for foster parents and for teens and youth?
Definitely. So for our monthly gigs, we have typically 2 meetings a month. Right now they're virtual. Some places are going back to face-to-face. Makes it kind of a struggle. The youth aren't a fan of virtual.
Right.
Facilitators don't love virtual, but we do what we got to do.
Right.
We're hanging in there. I know I also, as well as coordinating statewide, I also run AIMS AMP, and I intend to go back face-to-face next month. We're doing outdoors things, just a little picnic with each of my houses and shelters. So we do have 2 meetings a month. We have about 5 mini camps a year, which the mini camps are supposed to be more fun. We go to a iCubs baseball game. We go to a campground and hang out for a mini camp for a weekend, things like that. We have our annual camp, which is in the summer, about a week long. Unfortunately, this summer we weren't able to have it. But next year we're coming back. I actually just chose the dates yesterday for camp, so we're already starting to plan for that. And then we have mini conferences. We have 5 of those as well. Those are more educational. We go to a college. We go to Living History Farms. More educational, life skills based. We really enjoy doing the colleges. It gives the kids a chance to put their feet on the grounds at the school and realize that it's really not that scary and it is doable.
Sure.
Aside from those things, we always have our website, which is full of resources. We're actually doing a new website, which is about to be released, which is, like, say, full of, information, foster funds, grants, our history. If you want to find a location, we have 8 different councils, 12 different locations.
Okay.
One of those locations is virtual. It's our electronics, but we call it a council because maybe somewhere doesn't have a council. So then we try and do a lot electronically to reach those youth that don't have somewhere.
That's really, really important because I know some of our more rural communities feel like they have less resources. And so being able to tap into those virtually, I think is really, really huge. So I'm sure there's a lot of our foster families out there that are really thankful for that.
That is one thing virtually I've tried to reach out to more rural places. The one good thing about this virtual time, reach out to places that maybe don't have a place.
But they can still get the support even if it's not like physically in their town or their community. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if a youth signs up, or if they come to one of your, like, just your regular, you said monthly, is that right?
Yep.
What sort of things would they expect to do? Or, you know what I mean? What can they expect? Right? Kids don't want to be like, here, just go to this thing. Like, they kind of want to know what's coming. So what does that look like for our youth?
Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of everything. Primarily, we try to stick to, we want to teach life skills.
Okay.
A big thing I hear so prior to this, I did aftercare, and also with our youth, we have older youth, but such a thing we hear is, when I turned 18, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I didn't know how to live on my own and be self-sufficient.
Right.
So we do program a little bit with aftercare, another amazing program, but we try and teach life skills. I like to bring in guest speakers because sometimes kids get sick of seeing the same facilitating face.
Sure.
A few guest speakers, Planned Parenthood, fire chief, policeman, someone from the doctors. We do budgeting. We do any life skills you might need to know. And some are as simple as housekeeping, laundry, cooking, workshops like that. And then we also like to keep things fun. Yeah. We don't want to keep things just educational. We did, like, when I go back to face-to-face, we're going to do a picnic and make some s'mores and have a bag set up and other yard games. So I like to keep it educational, life skills, but also keep it fun. And
because it's that, I mean, from the youth that I've talked to, and I'm not an expert, but I just feel like when I've had conversations about AMP with those youth, they say, like, this is just the place where I can just come and be myself and people, like, understand it. Like, I just don't have to explain myself, because all the youth are in the same situation. And that's, I feel like, the vibe that I get from the youth. They're like, I can just be in this place, and so.
I do hear a lot of that. And that's one great thing is, and I've had kids that are like, I have one girl in particular, did not want to begin AMP, but she got kind of put into camp, her mom and Terry.
Strongly encouraged her to participate.
Yes, and now she loves it, and she will always say, I learned that it's a family, and I don't have to explain myself, and we're all uniquely in the same struggle. Yeah. We all understand. It's not like, oh my gosh, I want to know, or like anything earth-shattering. We're all in the same struggles. We all go through it together. We support each other, and we understand each other. So
awesome. So if from the foster parent perspective, we're watching this video, we're like, oh, like, my foster child could really, really benefit from just like this community. How would they make that happen? Yeah, actually really easy. One, you can hop on our website. You can find any of our locations. In that location, it will give a brief synopsis of the facilitator, who they are, just kind of a little, so you're not walking into a stranger. Give you a little bit of information. It'll give you their contact information, and where they're, which area they're at. So you can contact them, or you can always contact myself, and I will help you find the location you want to. I can give you any information you want to. If we don't have a location, and we can maybe attach some links and some some email addresses and things like that. Definitely. If you don't have a location, I can meet with you one-on-one. We can come have coffee. We can do something, whatever. Yeah. So we're more than willing to meet you where you are. Yeah, and then the other great thing that I've heard about AMP that maybe you could talk about is that kids are actually involved in like legislative change, and like you encourage them to have a voice and things that they feel like are not supportive from that side, the
Yeah.
policy makers and things like that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Definitely. So, like I said, our big thing is we are youth led. The lights are going
Our
on.
lights just turned out. That's okay.
Um,
We're professionals. We'll keep going.
just keep on rolling with it. Yeah, our big thing is being youth led. That is our primary goal. We don't want it to be we are speaking on behalf of what we think the youth want and need. It's the youth speaking up on behalf of what they want. So
Sure.
we do take the youth to every year we do Day on the Hill, and they get to meet with legislators in person,
Mhm.
shake their hands, get to know them, ask them questions. But prior to that, like right now, we're just beginning to generate ideas, things we want to move forward, things we see we need. One thing recently they had worked on is clothing allowances, increasing that budget, things like that that truly matter. It's not and they're like, oh, this isn't working. We give them the supplies to use their voice.
Right.
And they take it and run with it, and we do the best we can to make those improvements. And it is wonderful. I have one youth, he's like, I met with the legislator the other day, just we went and had coffee, and it's just an avenue that so many kids wouldn't typically have that resource to. And
which is so important, because involved in DHS, let's be honest, a lot of times decisions are not made by you or by the foster parents or by the child. And so giving them like that appropriate way to like be heard is super great. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's our empower the youth to make their lives better.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for just telling our families about this and giving us some information. We'll make sure that we post any follow-up, the links and email addresses and things like that.
Definitely.
So that if you are a foster family and you want to get connected with Achieving Maximum Potential, or AMP, we can make that happen and make sure all of our teams in foster care have that support. So
yes, definitely. Don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
We're happy to help any of us.
Awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.